In a small, crowded neighborhood on the south side of Chicago, lived a 12-year-old boy named Emilio. His days began before sunrise, helping his father load crates of vegetables into their rickety van. They would drive to the local farmer's market and spend hours under the scorching sun selling tomatoes, onions, and leafy greens. Emilio didn't mind the work, but deep down he dreamt of something bigger, becoming a robotics engineer. At school, while other kids talked about TikTok and video games, Emilio would sit alone in the library, reading books about circuits, motors, and artificial intelligence. One rainy afternoon, Emilio saw a poster in the hallway. Citywide robotics competition, ages 12 to 16, grand prize, full scholarship to Tech Academy. His heart raced. He imagined telling his father, imagined the pride in his mother's eyes. That scholarship could change his life. It could lift his family out of poverty. But then reality whispered, you don't have tools. You don't have a team. You're just a vegetable vendor's son. That night, as Emilio unloaded boxes with his father, the thought of entering the competition gnawed at him. But he hesitated. "Papa," he asked, "do you think someone like me could ever build a robot?" His father smiled, wiping sweat from his brow. "Mijo, your hands already know how to build. Whether it's stacking tomatoes or wiring circuits, it all starts with hard work." Still, Emilio didn't sign up. Fear held him back. Everything changed the next week. While helping a customer at the stall, Emilio met Mr. Peterson, a retired engineer who now taught night classes at the community center. Noticing Emilio's curiosity, Mr. Peterson invited him to visit the center. There, Emilio saw a real lab for the first time. Old, dusty, and filled with used parts, but to him it was a kingdom. "You've got a sharp mind," Mr. Peterson said. "Join the competition. I'll help you." Hope lit up Emilio's eyes. This was his moment. The next day, Emilio submitted his name for the competition. He began spending every free moment at the community center, after school, after work, even late into the night. Using discarded wires, broken toys, and computer parts salvaged from recycling bins, Emilio began building his robot. He named it Rusty because its shell was made of old tin cans. The journey wasn't easy. At school, kids laughed at his robot. "You think that junk bot's gonna win?" they sneered. Some nights the van broke down and Emilio missed precious hours in the lab. Other times money was tight and he had to skip meals just to buy a few extra parts. But he never gave up. His mother packed him extra snacks. His father sold one of his prized crates to buy Emilio a second-hand microchip. Mr. Peterson stayed late every night, guiding Emilio through error codes and wiring diagrams. 2 days before the competition, disaster struck. A power surge fried Rusty's central board. Emilio stared at the smoking remains of his robot, tears welling in his eyes. Months of work, gone. He wanted to scream, to quit. He even walked out of the lab, ready to throw it all away. But then he remembered his father's words. "Your hands know how to build." And Mr. Peterson's, "You've got a sharp mind." And his own silent vow. "I will not give up." Emilio returned to the lab, exhaustion in his bones, but fire in his heart. He worked all night, using backup parts and rewiring Rusty from scratch. His fingers bled, his eyes burned. But by sunrise, Rusty stood again, battered, a little crooked, but alive. At the competition, gleaming robots from elite schools filled the stage, judges in suits, cameras flashing. When Emilio's turn came, the room fell quiet. Rusty rolled forward. It lifted a small object, moved it across the board, and placed it precisely in the goal zone. Then it turned, looked toward the judges, and waved its tin can arm. The crowd erupted in applause. Emilio didn't win first place. He came third. But to his surprise, one of the judges, a professor from Tech Academy, approached him afterward. "Emilio," she said, "we've seen hundreds of robots today, but none had your spirit, your heart, we'd like to offer you a mentorship and full scholarship to our summer engineering program. When Emilio returned home that night, his parents were waiting with open arms. Tears streamed down their faces as he held up the letter of acceptance. Their son, the son of a vegetable vendor, was going to build a future. Months passed. Emilio now walked the halls of Tech Academy with confidence. Rusty sat proudly on his shelf, a reminder of where he started. He still helped at the market on weekends, still carried crates and sorted tomatoes. But now he did it with purpose, with a dream growing stronger every day. Years later, Emilio returned to his neighborhood, not as a boy with dreams, but as a young engineer with a mission. He built a tech center in the community, offering free robotics classes to kids like him. He knew the odds, he knew the struggle, but he also knew this. The world may try to break you, people may doubt you, life may knock you down 100 times, but if you stand up 101, you win.